We're here at the Riding Centre here in Kranji, right near the course, and the reason we're here today is to speak to this man sat to my left, Joe Azzopardi. Thanks for your time. Great to catch up with you.
Yeah, you too, mate. Cheers.
The reason we're here is you've announced that next season in 2020 you'll be returning to Perth. You won't renew your riding licence here in Singapore. We're going to miss you, but just talk us through the decision to head back home.
Yeah, look, so I'm here with my wife, Grace. We've only been married in February this year, so we just come to an agreement that it's probably the best thing for our time in our life to head back home. We got a lot of unfinished business there, and she doesn't really like the lifestyle here too much, and in all fairness, it's probably not really the lifestyle for me either, so we sort of country folk a little bit, so we like to get out and do a bit of camping and fishing and that sort of stuff, you know. So as much as it was a great experience for us here, we've come to the terms that it's the end of our time.
You couldn't find any good camping spots here?
Look, I didn't have a great look, but just from looking around, I don't think there's much around now.
Look, you speak about the difference, obviously, between growing up in Australia, in the country, to Singapore. It's a very different culture and a very different country. What are the main differences and difficulties that you've found with you and Grace just fitting in? Has it been that little bit hard?
Yeah, it has. Look, the biggest thing for us has probably been we've got a lot of spare time here, and we just struggle to find stuff to do. All you can really do is go out and eat and drink, and we're not really about that too much. So, you know, that's probably been the hardest thing for us, especially her. And as far as coming to Singapore and Asia, there's a lot of cultural differences, but that's been a great experience for us. I've really enjoyed learning and taking all that on. Yeah, we definitely prefer the Australian lifestyle.
What are the things about Singapore that you have enjoyed? We'll get to the racing in a moment, but as far as the place itself in Singapore, there is a good nightlife, there's a good cultural side to the country. What have you enjoyed the most about living here?
Yeah, I've made a lot of great friends along the way, which has been fantastic. And like you said, the nightlife's great. And Singapore it is a great place. There's a lot of the architecture here is incredible, and you go into Orchard Road and you see all the money floating around. It's really, really cool to see. So yeah, I've really enjoyed making a lot of great friends along the way and having a couple good nights out. And like I said, I've really enjoyed the racing here. It's been fantastic.
Speaking of the racing, let's talk about some of your successes here. Let's go back to April. Your very first winner was a horse called Drone for Falcon Racing, Michael Clements. Talk us through that night. I believe you only had one ride on the night.
Yeah, I think that's right. I was lucky enough. It was only my second week riding here, so it come along pretty quick. And it was great to get that winner for Falcon Racing and Michael Clements, because they're the reason why I come here in the first place. So it was good to get that monkey off my back.
And the Sunday just gone, as we record this interview, you almost did full circle riding Barak for Michael as well. He would ultimately be your last winner here in Singapore. So your first and last winners for probably one of your biggest supporters here, Michael Clements.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, Michael Clements is the one, or Michael White, his foreman. He's the one that approached me when I was in Perth and asked me to come. So they've supported me really well along the way, so it was good to finish on a high like that.
No doubt. And you rode 16 winners all up in your stint here. Talk us through just the week for a jockey in Singapore. What are the main differences for you riding here, and maybe challenges riding less than perhaps you would back home in Perth?
Yeah, it's tough. I probably struggled with my weight like a lot more here than I did in Perth, just because racing twice a week and only Friday and Sunday. So Sunday night and Monday, my weight would go up a fair bit, and then I'd spend the next few days getting it down, and it's just sort of yo-yoed a lot more than it would in Perth, and I found that a little bit difficult. And like I mentioned before, just a lot of spare time on our hands, and even you go here 3 or 4 weeks without riding a winner, and it seems like a lot, but when you think about it, you're only riding twice a week, and you could have 8 rides the whole week. So yeah, riding, it's really chilled lifestyle, riding twice a week, but I prefer to ride a couple more times if I can.
And Joe, let's now talk about what I'm sure in reflection is one of the better days of your life. Let's talk about a horse called Sun Marshall.
Sun Marshall, yeah, well, definitely the biggest day of my career. Obviously, Sun Marshall was my first Group 1 winner. Won the Derby on him, and look, Lee supported me a lot since I got here, and he told me that Sun Marshall, I could ride him in the Derby a few weeks out, and I rode him the start prior. And look, he won a Class 3 over a mile at the start before the Derby, and I knew he'd be a chance. He's an on-pace runner. He gets up on speed, so I knew he'd be there for a bit. In all fairness, I wasn't confident I could win. Look, it's a good race, but look, he tries his guts out, and everything worked out our way. And yeah, he's always going to be a star in my mind. He got the job done for me.
Let's talk about the Derby and the race itself. The heavens opened. It was a very wet track, and I've actually got vision of the race here from about the 700. I'll play that for you, and you can just talk us through what you felt during the race and what you felt after.
Yeah, look, coming to the 700, I was a couple spots further back than I planned to be on paper, but that was fine because the pace was pretty solid. So I was happy with where I was. Like you said, it was pouring rain. I ended up pulling my goggles off at about the 600 because I couldn't see, so I was going along with no goggles and getting mud in my eyes. But at the 600, I was very happy with the way the horse was travelling. He was just working into the race really nice. Look, he doesn't have a great turn of foot, so I had to sort of get on my bike pretty early at about the 600. But like I said, he moved into the race really well. And then I hit the front pretty early, probably at about the 300. And geez, that straight's a long one when you're in front, especially in a Group 1. So yeah, it was a slog, a heavy track. And like I said, I was in front for a long time, and coming to about the 200, the excitement really started to kick in. I felt like I was going to explode, just had that much excitement built up inside me. And then when I got to the line, I was over the moon. It's hard to put it into words. It's definitely one of the best feelings I've had in my life. Definitely the best feeling I've had in my career. So I'll be forever chasing that feeling again.
A great insight from you there. I can still hear the emotion in your voice when you talk about it. I'm sure the adrenaline, it mustn't have felt like a cold, wet day on Derby Day when you hit the line in that race.
No, it didn't. Look, it took a little while.
Mind you, it's never cold here, is it? So?
No, it never is, no. It was all a bit surreal. Look, it took a while for it to settle in. I never really, until I actually got off the horse and sat down and realised what had happened, it didn't really settle in, but it was just a lot of excitement, like you said, a lot of emotion, and it's just great. It's what Group 1 is, the pinnacle of racing. It's what every jockey wants to achieve, and to come here and achieve it for a Hall of Fame trainer like Lee Freeman, and winning the Singapore Derby, it was unbelievable.
A great achievement, and well done again on that. I mean, you've joined an elite club. Have you felt, since that win, have you improved as a rider, or have you ridden differently since sort of achieving that goal of winning a Group 1? I'm sure it would have filled you with more confidence.
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest thing with just winning that race in particular, the Group 1, is going into other Group 1s and Group 2s and those feature races, I'm probably a lot more relaxed than what I was before. You get a ride in a Group 1 and you're a kid, you're very nervous. Like before the Derby, I probably would have been close to spewing, just because you want to do your best for everyone that's giving you that opportunity, and it's always the thing with me. I always want to do the best I can. Obviously, you got owners that pay the bills and trainers, and everyone puts a lot of faith into you. $1 million races, so I think going forward, I'm just a lot more relaxed and a lot more relaxed.
What does the future hold for Joe?
Well, I'm going back to Perth on Wednesday. We have the Perth Carnival starts on Saturday, so hopefully I can pick up a few rides during that. I've got a nice ride in the railway for Tony Noonan on Saturday, Manolo Blahnik. So that's my next step, get through that, and hopefully I can give him a good ride. And look, he's a chance and he could run a good race.
Are you excited to be heading home? I'm sure you'll have great memories of your time here in Singapore, but you must be excited about the future. I'm sure you can re-establish yourself back at home.
Yeah, very excited. Look, I've been here 8 months and I miss home. And I miss a lot of my friends and family from home, so I'm very excited to get back. Been saying my goodbyes to everyone here, which is a little bit sad. You sort of take everyone for granted until you have to say goodbye to them. Yeah. So It's been good, but my time here has been fantastic. You know, I don't regret any of it. I've learnt more than I could have hoped for, and it's been a fantastic experience. So it's definitely probably not the last you see of me here. I think I'll definitely aim to come back at one stage. I love the racing here. It's been great. So, but yeah, I'm excited to get home.
Well, Joe, on behalf of all of us at the Singapore Turf Club, you're a pleasure to know. It's been great having you up here, and all the best for the future.
Thanks a lot, mate. Cheers.
Good on you, Joe. Joe Azzopardi, he leaves us here at Singapore, but he certainly leaves his mark on racing here at Kranji.